Hi guys, it's Mackenzie again. So I wasn't planning on making a video so soon after my last one, but stuff happened today where I was like, I need to go home and talk about this, and I don't know if I'm gonna have as much to say on the topic as I will a week from now. So, yeah, I don't know. Might turn into somewhat of a rant for me, and I don't want it to, but I'm just warning you because, okay, I'll just start. I wanted to focus on being libertarian in high school, what that's like, and I know that I don't know. Probably most people watching are libertarian, so it's probably not gonna, I don't know. I just want to kind of talk about it and see if maybe other people can relate if I'm the only one. I don't know if it depends on where you live, but kind of what it's like for me. Because today we got back these essays that we wrote for English, and the assignment is called This I Believe. And basically, what you do is you write kind of a persuasive essay, but it's mainly, or it could be like a reflection essay of like kind of something that you believe. And I thought this was like, okay, I'll just write about, an opinion I have. Because that's what the assignment was. That's what my brother did when he did it 2 years ago. Most people ended up doing like personal things, which I mean, that was allowed, so it's not like a big deal, but it's kind of surprising. Most people did that, but it's not really important. My topic was basically talking about diverging from popular belief in the sense of like, yeah, it's frustrating not being taken seriously if you say you have these like different beliefs, but it's worth it. Like, it's worthwhile to have those views and not to just like conform if you don't truly agree with something. So I kind of came up with this metaphor of like parallels between like um, kind of like growing up and waiting for like this day when like you feel like you're an adult and you feel like you matter and you're not like a kid anymore and you're not taking orders, you're giving orders, like that kind of thing. And that versus kind of like the two-party system, political parties of like a lot of people who don't fully agree with the Democratic or Republican Party saying that they do and voting for it and like saying that they identify with one of them because even if their heart's somewhere else, they don't want to say that because it's like, oh, third parties are like radical and stuff, and it's like why such a small portion of the vote goes to third parties. um, but I mean, political parties, politics, that was not my topic. That was half of a metaphor I used for my topic. So this is a great essay. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that here. Great essay. And I kind of thought my teacher would respect it because she usually likes my writing. And one time we were talking about the two-party system in class, and I was talking about it, and she was like smiling and nodding. I'm like, maybe you could write an essay on this, and she wouldn't judge me like other teachers probably would. Um, but I guess I was totally wrong because I got it back today, and I got a B, which isn't bad. I know it's not bad, but I get like A's on every essay I write in there because writing is like one of the few things I actually do well. So yeah, I got a B and I was pissed off because I did not deserve a B. I was straight up expecting an A on this. It's like one of the best essays I've ever written, and people like were shocked that I got a B too because they're like, "No, it's really good." Like, it wasn't at all offensive politically. I had people like liberals and conservatives read it for me, and they're just like, "Yeah, no, it's." I didn't say they really liked it. I was like, "Okay, good to go." But somehow, my teacher still decided that she still worked her political bias into grading this, and I know that because I've read all of her comments, and it's pretty obvious that a lot of them are because of the political bias. Like, let's see. Okay, this is one of my favorites because it's so fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I'm probably gonna curse a lot because this is kind of like a rant for me. I'm really angry now. So, I said, we take classes we have no interest in, shell out thousands for college tuition, and pay ridiculous amounts to the government in taxes, all in the hope that it will benefit us someday. And she circled the word us, and she drew an arrow and said, question mark, and others, right? Don't be selfish. Like, what the fuck? First of all, like, us, that's like a communal kind of term. I was referring to all Americans, like, it's like a hypothetical, like, everyone. I didn't just mean rich white girls. Like, and sorry, I don't think that other people take classes and like, oh, I'm gonna benefit the like greater good of everyone. Usually you do that for yourself. It's not like, I mean, I guess for the taxes that's what she was saying, but like if I was doing like more than one thing, that makes sense to say that. She's like, also like, is it so selfish to say that if you pay thousands of tax dollars, some of it should benefit you? Even if I was saying just for me, I hope it benefits me someday. Like, why is it so selfish? I didn't even say that it doesn't happen. I was saying, is it so selfish to say I'm gonna pay thousands of dollars in income tax and all kinds of taxes, and I kind of hope that paying all that money will somehow have a benefit for me. Is that a selfish thing to do? If you're paying thousands of dollars, I think you're entitled to think that. Not that that's even what I wrote, but still, like, you don't have to call me selfish for that. Not to mention, this is completely off topic. Like, there's no need to preach socialism in your grading of my essay. Like, that's kind of unnecessary. You need to respect my opinion and leave yours out of it, because that is not your job. This is an opinion essay, and it's not your job to say that mine is selfish. Not that it even is. What else? Okay, and this is just fucked up. Where she's like, I said, kind of introducing my libertarian analogy, saying, to fit into one of two categories, you must be willing to sacrifice your economic freedoms for personal ones, or vice versa. What about those who believe that we as Americans deserve both? And I said, this is the mindset of a libertarian. And she circled Americans. And later she circles the word libertarian. And she's like, is this we the citizens or just libertarians? Like, you need to make it more clear. Yeah, just the libertarians. I think that only people who agree with me are allowed to have rights. Why would she even think that was what I meant? She really think I'm that fucking selfish? Like, seriously, you don't think I'm the most selfish person in the world? Or maybe she just has that crazy notion that libertarians are a selfish party, which is stupid. It's a terrible... Ugh. I said, I clarify this. Like, why would I say just libertarians? Obviously, I'm referring to all Americans. Why would I think that only people who agree with me deserve rights? That's stupid. And also, Americans, I use that term because the American Constitution assures us of liberty. So being an American, this is deserved. I think that's an appropriate term to use. And then the last thing, which is just stupid. Clearly she did not understand my essay. Plenty of Americans support wholeheartedly one of the two main parties, which is perfectly acceptable. And she circled the word wholeheartedly and said, or to some degree. No! That's what my entire essay is about. How you shouldn't do that. Why is she willing to make the correction? She's basically saying that my entire analysis is wrong by saying, or to some degree. Because that's what I'm trying to disprove, that you shouldn't do that. It's like she has not paid attention at all. It's just frustrating because, like, this is not the first time something like this has happened. I mean, so many teachers disrespect my opinion on stuff like this, and I don't know why. I mean, there's, like, you can't do that. It's a rule in my school. You can't, like, impose political bias on your students. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but that's a rule. And, I thought she was someone who respected that. And she doesn't, clearly, because I've heard my other friends told me today, sometimes similar things happen to them with her, and just, like, that's so frustrating how it can affect the grading of someone, of, like, you just go in with a closed mind of, like, grading something because you don't agree. I think that's really messed up. It's frustrating. I love being a libertarian. I'm so proud to be one. I totally agree with everything the party has to say. It's, like, so comforting knowing that there's, an ideology out there that just totally embodies everything that I agree with. I'm so proud to be one. But it's so frustrating. And sometimes I wish that, first of all, I wish libertarianism was a bigger party so people would take it seriously. But, like, even so, I wish that I totally identified with a major party. Because it's so much easier, people actually, like, respect you and respect what you have to say, and, like, you're not crazy, and people don't, like, totally have this wrong idea of what libertarianism is. Because, like, no one I know, besides, like, friends I've explained it to, know what it means. I had my history teacher who went to Harvard and Duke, and he didn't know what it was. He said it was far-right conservatism, which is the furthest thing from the truth, and I had to correct him. I also had to correct one of my very smartest friends. The same thing. And it's just ridiculous, like, the fact that to this level, people don't know about the party. And more people should, or, like, they just have this wrong notion of what it is, because it's a really realistic ideology. It really is. And once I explain it to people, they don't seem so turned off by it, but it just has this terrible stereotype. It's kind of what I was trying to say in here, and I wanted to speak about this in my class, to get them to kind of realize, like, see my point, because this is something I'm so passionate about, and I hate that it's this way. And to get it back, and to have her just not listen. Like, it's so frustrating, but, like, at the same time, like, what did I really expect, It's just, I kind of thought that, like, I could make an impact and, like, actually get somewhere and have her, like, respect what I was saying, and just, like, just knowing that I don't have that, like, I don't have control over that. And people are still going to be this, like, narrow-minded way, even as much as I try to convince them. It's really frustrating. But, you know, at the same time, it is worth it to show my support for something, even if, like, no one around me agrees. Because, you know, I'm so proud to just say I have this belief, even if no one knows what it is, even if people judge me for it. I'm going to keep calling myself a libertarian because it's such a nice thing to be a part of, something I totally agree with. And no amount of bitchy opinionated teachers or misinformed people are going to convince me of that. Because I know what I support, and I'm not going to change that just to fit in, unlike a lot of people out there. It's unfortunate most people out there are like that. It's probably because of things like this, where people just get frustrated because no one listens to them, and they just think, well, I just have to conform. And that makes me really sad, but I don't think I'm ever going to be like that. And I think, as frustrating as it is, that's the way it should be. So yeah, I probably got a little bit angry in there, and it's probably mostly just about complaining about my essay. But, you know, just on a larger scale, it was just this entire having a not popular belief in high school, which is ironically what my essay was about, and how just, I don't know, it's frustrating, but it's worth it. And I don't know, if other high school libertarians out there, people who were not in high school but were, and, you know, agree with it back then, you kind of want to, like, tell me, like, how it was for you, if it was similar, because I don't know if it's just, like, the way it is for me in my school, or if it's just, like, everywhere. But I'm really kind of interested in what other people's experiences are, high school libertarians. So yeah, please let me know, like, send me messages or something. I'd really, really like to know. And thanks for watching. This is like way longer than my last one. It's probably not as informative, more just anger, but yeah, no, thank you for watching then. So yeah, and send me messages again. Thank you.